Came from a very senior position from the government, which was a deputy minister. So for over 12 years, I didn't need to send my application anywhere. I thought, well, it should be easy. The moment I write something and I send it somewhere, I should receive responses, but the fact was different. So that's where I started, sending applications to some of the positions that I thought are the kind of positions that I should apply. Of course, not deputy minister level positions, but director level, manager level. And then for sometimes I noticed that things are not working. My wife is coming here for the ESL classes, so I learned about this environment a little bit. There is a corner of this facility which often talks about unemployment support. So let me see what is there. After sending some of those applications for a period of more than 8-9 months that I didn't receive responses, so I thought, well, there's something wrong, either in my communication or either the way I write it, either the way I approach people. So let's see how they can help. I one day passed by and asked Sandra, so what do you have here for people like me? I'm a senior person. I have my education from US. I'm a master's degree holder. And I have my experience for over 15 years. The immediate reaction from Sandra was that, wow, it's good to have you. Beth, another wonderful person, she was so supportive. And she was so kind of understanding. She said, I'm sure we can help you with preparing your CV in a way that it is responsive to the requirements of Canadian job market, and also the cover letter has to be drafted in a manner that catches the attention of the readers, because the employment market is in a way here that you receive so many applicants. So that's where I started. And I think from there it went very well. The first area that the workshop helped me a lot with was with the issue of mindset. Because I came here with a mindset that doesn't matter how qualified you are, from what senior level you come, or which kind of a government or private sector background, entering the Canadian market as a manager or a senior level position holder is merely impossible. Or if it's possible, I have to start it in a very junior level that will frustrate me. That's the kind of mindset I had taken, partially from the fact that I was sending applications, and partially from my own environment, from my own social environment. And it's not the way it is. It's actually the public sector here particularly is open. The Canadian government, the Canadian environment is a ethnicity. It's a culturally diverse society. And the Canadian government is fully open to represent that diversity in their offices. And now, how they are doing it, there is a way that they are doing it. So I immediately went after my equivalency for my education, which I got it from West, and that was the certificate for equivalency was received within 3 weeks. And after that I put my applications in a way that it responded to the employer's need, I was able to receive some responses. And most importantly, later in the last days of the workshop was that Cynthia, another colleague here in the center who helped me with the networking, so she put me in one networking event. That's where I managed actually to connect with this ministry that eventually offered me the job. The mentoring activity that I had through the program you have here for senior professionals to be mentored by a matched kind of capacity who's working already here in Canada. So I was matched with an individual who works for the city of Toronto. And then that's where I started a little bit of mentoring to understand how the government works. And that helped a lot. The first advice I have is that don't pick a mindset that does not represent the Canadian society, especially about the employment market. Yes, it's competitive, it's challenging, it's tough, but it's not impossible. There are plenty of opportunities for employment here. All one has to do is build his or her confidence that they can do it, and connect with the right people to guide them. Try to start from the unemployment support offices here, who can actually explain the culture, the dynamics of this market, who can explain actually the potential connection point for you. Don't lose hope. Canada is a country of hope. So don't be hopeless.